Joel was a city taxi driver, quiet, lived alone, didn't talk much. But he never missed work, especially on Fridays when the streets came alive and the money flowed. It was 11:57 p.m. Joel was parked near a silent bus terminal, scrolling through his phone. Then came a ping, a ride request, no name, no face, just one word, pick me. Location, the old Victoria Hospital, closed down for 12 years. Joel frowned. Maybe it's a prank, he muttered, but the pay was triple the usual. Curiosity won. He drove. The road to the hospital was darker than usual. Streetlights flickered. As he approached the entrance, the gates opened on their own. Standing there was a woman in a faded white dress. She didn't speak. She just pointed to the back seat. Joel hesitated. "Where are you going?" he asked. The woman's voice was soft, broken, like an old record. "Take me to where I died." Joel felt cold but laughed nervously. "Lady, this is not a ghost movie. Where exactly are you going?" She simply whispered, "You already know the place." The meter started running, on its own. 10 minutes into the drive, Joel's phone buzzed again. A message, from himself. It read, "Don't look at her face. Keep driving." His heart froze. He checked the mirror. She wasn't visible. "Ma'am, are you still back there?" No reply. He looked back. She was gone. Then he heard it, breathing, from the glove compartment. Joel slowly reached for it. Shaking, he opened it. A burned photo fell out. It was his taxi, his face, and a woman in a white dress. Behind them, written in blood-red ink, "You were the last passenger." Suddenly, the car braked itself. They were back, in front of the hospital. Joel turned and she was sitting right beside him now, smiling. "You brought me back," she whispered. "Now it's your turn." Her eyes turned black. Then, silence. The next morning, Joel's car was found outside the abandoned hospital, engine running. But Joel? Gone. Only the burned photo remained on the dashboard. The city had begun to change for Joel, even if he didn't admit it out loud. After the night at the abandoned hospital, Joel quit driving. He threw his phone into the ocean that morning, convinced that whatever had happened, the woman, the message, the photo, was over. But fear doesn't end when you ignore it. It waits. 3 days later, he was back home, sitting on the couch, staring at the blank TV screen, lost in thought, when his bedroom light flickered once, twice, and went out completely. He reached for the remote, then he heard it. Buzz, buzz. A familiar vibration from the drawer near the front door. "No," he whispered, standing slowly. He hadn't replaced the phone. He hadn't bought another. The drawer kept vibrating. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Joel opened it, his old phone. The exact same phone he threw into the ocean. Same cracks, same black case. Still wet. It lit up. One missed call. Unknown. One new voicemail. His fingers shook. He clicked play. The voice that played was his own. "She's still here, Joel. And now, she's learning." The screen turned black, then flashed white. A new message appeared. "Answer, or she'll use someone else." Joel stumbled back, nearly tripping over the coffee table. The phone fell to the ground but didn't break. Instead, it started ringing again. Same caller, unknown. He didn't answer. Instead, he ran to the bathroom and locked himself in. He opened the tap and splashed water on his face. "You're losing it, Joel," he whispered. "You've been under stress. That night, maybe it wasn't real." Then, knock, knock. Not from the front door, from the bathroom mirror. Joel stared. At first, nothing. Then he noticed something horrifying. His reflection wasn't moving. He stood there frozen, watching himself in the mirror. "Smile." The reflection, Joel mouthed. "Pick up the phone, Joel." Suddenly, the phone started ringing again, from inside the bathroom sink. Joel looked into the drain. It was glowing. He backed away, but his phone, the one from the drawer, was now floating in the air behind him. He turned slowly. It hovered inches from his face, screen lit, with a new notification. Live video. See what she sees. Against every instinct, Joel tapped it. What he saw made him scream. The live video was showing his own apartment, but not as it was now. It was drenched in blood, the couch torn, the walls covered in handprints, and in the corner, rocking back and forth, was him, but his face was gone. The phone dropped to the ground. Joel picked it up and threw it again, this time out the window from the third floor. It shattered. He rushed down to the street, panting, sweating, desperate. But when he reached the sidewalk, the phone was there, perfectly whole, waiting. And it rang again. 3 weeks had passed since Joel last stepped outside. He had sealed his doors with chains, covered every mirror, taped black cloth over every window. But fear, real fear, doesn't need a key to get in. One afternoon, Joel sat in his dark apartment, eyes bloodshot, watching old CCTV footage from his taxi dash cam, trying to understand what happened the night of the woman in white. He rewound the footage, paused, zoomed, rewound again. Nothing unusual, until he slowed it to 0.25 speed. That's when he saw her, in the back seat. The woman hadn't entered the car. She was already in it before he arrived. No door opened, no sound, no movement, just her face, watching him. Heart pounding, Joel leaned closer to the screen. He reached for the keyboard to pause it, and then the footage froze on its own. The screen pixelated. Then a new video began to play. One he never recorded. It was a live feed of a little girl standing in the middle of a busy crosswalk in the city, staring directly at the camera. His camera. But the camera wasn't attached to his taxi. Joel blinked. What is this? Then he recognized the location. It was 5 minutes from his apartment. The girl didn't move. She just stood, wearing a dirty blue dress, barefoot, hair covering half her face. A car passed behind her, then another. Then she disappeared. Joel stood, unsure of what he had just seen. He shut the laptop. Tap, tap, tap. He looked toward his window, the one he had boarded shut. The tapping came again. He approached slowly, and then, from the shadows outside the plastic-covered glass, a small handprint formed. Joel's breath caught in his chest. He ran to the hallway, grabbed a flashlight, and opened the front door. The street was empty, except down the road at the end of the block, the same girl was standing, facing away from him. Joel stepped outside, shaking. "Hey!" he shouted. She didn't move. Then her head turned. Not her body, just her head, fully backwards, and she smiled. "You shouldn't have watched," she whispered. Then she ran, not toward him, but toward the building. Back inside, Joel spun and slammed the door behind him. But when he turned around, the girl was sitting on his couch, watching the same CCTV footage, smiling. This made Joel to think of the unthinkable, which affected his mental health. He wasn't thinking straight anymore. He heard whisperings at the same time, loud voices spoke in Latin. Joel was forced to cry like a baby, Will crying. He felt a presence. He looked up and saw a large writing on his screen saying, "You brought me back, now it's your turn." This kept happening for months. Joel turned old in time. One morning he got an idea, but it was the last time Joel was seen. He was nowhere to be found. The story is to educate and inform people that love money so much without even taking a second thoughts. Let's try having a say over our lives. Please, if this story touched you, please make sure to subscribe, like, and share for more triggering story like this.